Hey everyone, this is Tammy with Crazy Cat Lady Crafting, and today I'm going to show you how to make this very simple slipper. It is made using double crochet stitches and 100% acrylic yarn. It is the Red Heart Super Saver. You can see the label right there in Hunter Green. I use a lot of Red Heart. It is 100% acrylic, but it holds up amazingly well, especially for something like a slipper that's going to be washed frequently. It's held closed over the top of the foot with a simple gross grain ribbon. You can put whatever kind of ribbon you want in there. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a slip stitch. Just like that, and then just pull that through. Okay, we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to slip stitch into the first chain at the beginning of our chain 5. That makes this nice little loop, which is where we're going to be working everything. That's where all the magic starts. You'll notice as I go that I'm going to keep this tail pressed up against the loop. That'll take care of having to weave that in later because the stitches will be worked around it. So since we're working in double crochet, we're going to chain 3, and that is our that counts as our first double crochet. We're going to do 9 more double crochets in here for a total of 10. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, let's double count that to make sure we have our full 10 stitches before we go ahead and join. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what we're going to do now is we are going to slip stitch into that top chain 3, the beginning chain 3. And there we go. And you see this is all buried right here. So when the time comes, all I'll have to do is snip that and it'll be good to go. Okay. The second row is an increase row. We're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch around. One thing I will say is as I go, I will mention different things in case your foot is, larger or smaller. This is about a size 7.5, but it's really very adjustable, and I'll go through that as we come to it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do our chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to double crochet in that same stitch. So that's our first 2 double crochet increase. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So, there we go. 1, 2. Let me see if I can't. There we go. 1, 2, 1. Let me get some more of my yarn over here. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. I know I probably sound repetitive and annoying, but it's just keeping track. So, very important to keep track of your stitch count as you go, because that will determine the finished size of the project, as well as potentially causing problems later on in the pattern because you do either have too many or not enough stitches to work with. So I got 2, 1, 2. I'm working with a skein here, and this is one of the things that I do not like about working with skeins, that eventually you're going to come across a spot that's just tangled like that. It's a lot easier if you roll the skein into a ball but I haven't gotten around to that with this particular skein yet. Now, we've got our 2 double crochets in each double crochet around. We're going to slip stitch in the beginning of the chain 3. Now you can see that that's forming, you know, that little bit like a disc there, but it's curving in. So the next row we're going to do is going to be 2 double crochet in one stitch and 1 double crochet in the next around. That'll let it get bigger without causing it to really pull in on itself or get too wavy or anything like that. So 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 1. Okay, so you see how we're going there. So I'm just going to finish going all the way around here, and we'll go from there. Okay, now here we are at the end of that third row, that 2 double crochet in one stitch, 1 double crochet in the next. We're going to go ahead and work those last 2 stitches, which is it's 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet. Sorry about that. And we're going to work that same slip stitch that we have all the other rows right there. Now you'll see that did increase the size of the work, but it didn't cause it to, you know, warp in really any way. It is going to do this bell shape, but that's what you want because that's where your toes are going to be. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to double crochet in each stitch around. 1 double crochet in each stitch, and this is going to cause that tube-like shape that we want for the front of our feet. Now I will say, if you have a wider than usual foot, or you find that it just you've checked it and it just seems like it's too small, you can always do another row of this third row increase, this 2 double crochet in one stitch, 1 double crochet in the next around, and that will also, you know, allow that to widen up without pulling it too tight for you yet. So here we go. We're going to do our chain 3, and we are going to double crochet in each stitch around. Now we are going to do this for a total of 3 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, start working this, and as you see, it's just a double crochet in each stitch around. So I'm going to cut out, work this, and when I get back to the video, we'll have our 3 additional rounds worked, and you'll be able to see the difference and see where the toe is starting to form. Okay, now here we are with our third row of double crochet around. You can see that I definitely have, you know, a very obvious toe shape here, but this is one of the areas that if you need to adjust because of shoe size, this is where you would do it. Okay, if you have a longer foot, you may need to add a row or 2 of the double crochet around. If you have a shorter foot, like I said, mine's about a 7, 7.5. If you need a shorter foot, then you leave one of these 3 rows off. I would personally not recommend taking the toe all the way down to the point where the toes of the foot meet the base of the foot. It'll be harder to stay on. You definitely want to bring this up to right about the place where your toes join your foot. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to work on this side portion right here that's going to form the bottom. So what we're going to do for that is we're just going to double crochet across. For me, that was 27 stitches. So, I mean, again, depending on your foot, you may want to adjust that. So that's 2, 3. Always remember to do the chain 3 at the beginning, and we're going to do 1, 2, we're going to do 27 here. 3, 4, 5. Sorry about the lighting and the focus. I'm still getting used to working in front of a camera. It's a little bit difficult when you're used to not having anything in front of you and all of a sudden you're, you know, trying to watch what you're doing over a camera. But it's part of the channel, so just bear with me as I get used to it. So, oh, I lost count. What do we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stitches. again double crochet, and we're just going to keep going until we get to 27, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, let's get some more yarn here, 18, 19, 20, and now we just need 20, and we need 7 more, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And as you'll see, what you've done here is you've made the side and bottom of the slippers, the sides and bottom, and these spaces that are not worked are going to be where you put your foot in. They're going to be the border line of that toe right there. Okay, so we are going to chain 3 and work this row back and forth 8 more times. Again, you may need to add or subtract rows depending on the size of your foot. So chain 3 and turn, and we're going to work 8 more rows of double crochet across. So we're going to, there we go, 2, 3, just work that back and forth until you have a total of 9 rows. So here's our first row and then 8 additional rows. Okay, now that I've added the gross grain ribbon here, you see we've got a nice set of slippers. And you're probably thinking, there's no way those are going to look good on anybody. But just to show you that they will, I'll be posting a picture of them at the end of the video, as well as a thumbnail for the video. This is Tammy with Crazy Cat Lady Crafting. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. Any ideas, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at crazycatladycrafting@gmail.com. Everybody have a good day.